Jessii Vee, and today we're going to be talking about ice cream, one of my favorite foods of all time. We'll be talking about some history, some creepy commercials, some creepy TV shows with ice cream, some creepy pastas. But before we get started, because it is almost the end of December, I just want to remind you guys that if you want to win this backdrop behind me, Stranger Things, all you have to do is be subscribed to this channel, so my Jessii Vee channel, turn on your notification bell, and then head over to my Jessii Vee Instagram, just my regular one, give that a follow, and I'll be choosing someone who is very active, liking photos, looking at stories. Just if I see their name popping up a lot, I will choose them. And I'll literally be announcing the winner in like 3 days. All right, so we're just gonna jump right into today's video talking about some ice cream history first. Ice cream's origins are known to reach back as far as the 2nd century BC, but no one's able to find an exact date of origin or who the creator really was. But we do know that Alexander the Great enjoyed snow and ice flavored with honey and nectar, so that could have been the start of it. Snow cones. Now, the first ever advertisement for ice cream appeared in 1777, and until the 1800s, ice cream remained a rare and exotic dessert enjoyed by mostly the elite. So basically, you could only have ice cream if you were rich and well known. The wide availability of ice cream happened in the 1900s, and now about 1.4 billion gallons of ice cream is eaten each year. Am I making you hungry right now? Comment down below what your favorite flavor of ice cream is. If I had to choose, it would be between chocolate peanut butter and vanilla bean. Alright, I wanted to talk a little bit about ice cream trucks. Now, I feel like everybody has like a love-hate relationship with them because we have to agree the music is so creepy, but the ice cream is great. In 1920, a man named Harry Burt invested in 12 refrigerator trucks for distribution around the city. He made sure they were pristine white and put professional-looking drivers in signature white uniforms. So basically, 1920 was around the first time they had like actual portable ice cream. Then this man wanted to come up with a scheme to lure kids towards the truck, which sounds very creepy, but he wanted to figure out how to properly sell this ice cream. So he got a bell, which he took from his bobsled, and made it chime so everyone on the street would know to come for ice cream. Then, as you guys know, it went from a bell to an actual tune that we all recognize and know, and they came up with that tune to lure children. Now, let's start getting into the creepier stuff. This first fact is super eerie and concerning. There was such a thing called ice cream poisoning. Milk was not pasteurized in the US until the 1890s, which meant any dairy product was potentially laced with bacteria that caused horrible illnesses like scarlet fever, tuberculosis, and a bunch of other ones. Ice cream poisonings were a common event back then and were regularly reported in the news. They literally had what was called ice cream epidemics. So for example, if hundreds of people went to a fair and ate the ice cream there and they all got poisoning from it, that would be an ice cream epidemic. So it would happen at fairs, picnics, parties, big events, and so many people died after eating ice cream. But thankfully, years later, they figured out how to get out this harmful bacteria, and ice cream is safe to consume today. All right, let's talk about a very creepy TV episode that came out a few years ago. Okay, so there was this one particular episode from a show called The Haunting Hour that really freaked kids out about ice cream trucks. It's about a boy named Marty that always borrows money from his family, and he soon becomes obsessed with catching a mysterious ice cream truck that only he seems to be able to hear and see. One day he's told about this boy named Jimmy Jeffrey, who also used to be obsessed with this ice cream truck, and one day he got onto it and never came off, and he was never seen again. Days later, Marty sells a bike that his father had given him to finally earn some of his own money to use to give to the ice cream truck. That night, he manages to stop the ice cream truck with his father's tire spikes. And after getting in, Marty encounters Jimmy Jeffrey, who is now a 30-year-old man, frozen in the back. And Jimmy tells Marty that he's been waiting 30 years for someone to take his place, and explains that the ice cream truck runs on the souls of those obsessed with catching the creamy cold ice cream truck. So Jimmy ends up escaping this truck, leaving Marty in the back, yelling for help as it drives away. And before the truck drives off, Jimmy says one more thing.
The truck is all yours until someone else catches you. Until then, it's all you can eat.
And that's how the episode ended, and apparently this one was super creepy. I've personally never seen it before, but comment down below if you have. Alright, next we have some very creepy ice cream commercials that you actually might recognize. guys. There's this brand called Little Baby's Ice Cream Shop, and they're known for their very creepy and shocking ice cream commercials. One of its most famous commercials is a video depicting a person covered in marshmallow fluff, scooping the substance out of their skull with a spoon and eating it. Now, this commercial has been viewed over 7 million times on YouTube. Another ad shows a woman with mouths for eyes, and the brand says they actually pride themselves in having these very creepy commercials, and I guess it's good advertising because people will always remember them, so good on them. And lastly, we have a creepypasta about midnight ice cream trucks. Now, I was actually shocked at how many midnight ice cream truck stories I was able to find online. I'm assuming most of them are creepypastas, but I do know that we all agree that the music it plays is so eerie. I think the latest I've ever seen an ice cream truck in my neighborhood was probably 10 p.m., which is definitely really late, and it really freaked out my parents. They told us to make sure we stayed inside because there's no reason for an ice cream truck to be out like after the sun goes down. There was this one story about a brother and sister who were woken up in the middle of the night by the familiar tune of the ice cream truck, except the song sounded a little bit different, kind of like when a toy starts to get low on batteries and the sound almost distorts a little bit. So something sounded very off about this ice cream truck, but they were still very intrigued. They ran to the window closest to the street and they saw the truck, and it was painted in such a dark color that it almost blended in with the night, and it was moving very slowly. As it crept up to their house, they decided to sneak out to get a treat without their parents knowing. So they grabbed a couple dollars out of their father's coat pocket and ran to the end of their driveway. The ice cream truck stopped in front of them, and they squinted their eyes to try to see who was sitting in the driver's seat, but it was so dark. All they could see was this hand outstretched towards them. Confused, they gave the man the money, and the hand disappeared back into the darkness of the truck. He was gone for what felt like 5 minutes, and then they were handed 2 ice cream cones covered in fudge and sprinkles. They skipped off happily back into the house and ate up their ice cream as quick as can be. Except when they got to the very middle of the cone, they tasted something very strange. They looked down into their cone and saw what looked like raw meat stuffed into the bottom of it. That's when they realized what a horrible decision it was to go out to a random truck in the middle of the night. What were they eating? And that's how it ends, and that's why you don't just go up to strangers, people. I like literally felt so disgusted reading that story, like I could taste it. Anyways, guys, those are all the creepy things associated with ice cream that I could find. If I missed any good facts or interesting things, definitely comment them down below. And if you want me to continue this series on creepy foods, give this video a thumbs up and let me know. But I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!